Mayor of Davis and the Vice Chair of Valley Clean Energy's Board of Directors. VC appreciates the opportunity to help host this event. Valley Clean Energy is a community choice program that serves as Yolo County's public energy provider. We're delighted to join the other speakers in celebrating California's commitment to increasing the use of renewable energy and building our capacity of battery storage to ensure reliability for our consumers and our communities. Valley Clean Energy is pleased to buy 100% of the energy that's generated by this solar power plant, which is 3 megawatts in size and includes 3 megawatts of battery storage, 4-hour battery storage. This allows us to use our clean energy from local sources when the grid needs it most. This facility is part of VC's $600 million investment on behalf of our customers in clean, reliable, and affordable energy storage, energy backed by energy storage. By the end of 2024, 80% of the electricity used by our customers will come from new renewable projects under long-term contracts, almost all of which are based in California. This facility here plays a small but important role in that effort. And it's local, built by a local developer, Dan Martinez, which supports the local economy. VC is one of 24, I think now actually 25, community choice aggregators that serve over 14 million customers across the state. We've invested collectively over $25 billion in clean energy storage, including over 5,000 megawatts of new energy storage. So congratulations to California and to all the energy visionaries for reaching this important milestone. Thank you for Governor Newsom's leadership in this effort and for inviting Valley Clean Energy to join in the celebration. I'll turn it over to Senator Bill Dodd from our district to say the next words. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, hello, everybody. It's great to be here today to mark this important milestone for California and the future of our planet. Developing clean energy is critical, and I'm proud to say that California continues to lead the way. Increasing battery storage will help us maintain a clean and reliable power grid. Batteries are an important part of achieving our state goal of moving to 100% clean energy by 2045. We must transition away from fossil fuels, and obviously batteries allow us to use clean energy captured by solar and other resources. They allow us to keep electricity flowing at all times during inclement weather and after the sun goes down. And I'm happy to say that more energy projects like this one are on their way across our great state. California's always embraced innovation. When it comes to clean energy, we are no exception. Simply put, see? We are world leaders. We are proof it can be done with the leadership of our great Governor Newsom and our leaders in the Senate and the Assembly. We're doing just that and moving ahead. And now I'd like to introduce the next speaker, Scott Murdishaw, Executive Director of the California Energy Storage Alliance. Thank you.
All right. Good morning. My name is Scott Murdishaw. As Senator Dodd said, I'm the Executive Director of the California Energy Storage Alliance. We're a trade association that represents over 100 companies that manufacture, install, and operate energy storage systems at all scales, from the small residential systems you can see attached to people's homes to utility scale projects like the one you see here. I'd like to thank Governor Newsom for inviting me and CISA to participate to mark a truly impressive milestone on California's path to a zero carbon power grid. It is no exaggeration to say that the energy storage industry began here in California. We have more energy storage capacity than any other state and most countries, and the largest and second largest energy storage projects in the world are located here in California. These accomplishments were only possible due to strong support from Governor Newsom and Governor Brown before him, from the legislature, the PUC, and the California Energy Commission. In 2009, when CISA was founded, the energy storage industry scarcely existed. 1 year later, the legislature passed a bill sponsored by CISA that requested the CPUC to establish an energy storage procurement target. This led to the CPUC setting a target of 1,325 megawatts by 2020. That just seemed ludicrous at the time, given the nascent state of the technology in the energy storage industry. But we took a leap of faith and we hit that target. And even more incredible is the amount of storage added to the grid each year since 2020 has been more than double the original goal, a goal that took 7 years to reach. At this pace, I'm proud to say that we are roughly on track to install the 50,000 megawatts of storage that California will need to decarbonize our energy supply by 2045. With that, I'd like to hand the microphone over to Energy Commissioner Karen Douglas. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Thank you, Scott. And I was an energy commissioner. I'm here now as a public utilities commissioner, and it's a pleasure to be here today. One of the core responsibilities of the California Public Utilities Commission is to order procurement of sufficient energy resources to support the needs of the California economy, meet reliability standards, and advance California's clean energy and climate goals. To this end, the CPUC has ordered over 18,000 megawatts of clean energy procurement by 2028. These procurement orders largely do not specify the technology required, but we know that storage, including both solar and storage projects and storage standalone projects, are a critical technology and generally what is coming forward to help meet these needs. It's one of the most prevalent technologies being brought forward in the market today. CPUC's procurement orders divide procurement responsibility by expected load served and allowed load serving entities such as Valley Clean Energy, but also including investor-owned utilities, other community choice aggregators, and energy service providers. Flexibility in where and what to contract in this competitive market is part of the pressure that is bringing forward more and more projects while also creating competition and fostering a market signal to bring down the long-term price of storage resources. Very excited to be here to mark not only this project, but also California's tremendous progress on the path towards bringing storage online at the scale that we need. And when we see the progress in California over especially the past 4 years to the scale that we've reached today, it's a tremendous achievement with a lot more to come. And so with that, I will turn this over to Chair Randall from the Air Resources Board. I almost called you a VP.
It's great to be here with you all today. In 2022, we adopted the update to California's scoping plan, the update that is charting our path to carbon neutrality by 2045. And in that update, the energy sector is underpinning our decarbonization goals. A clean, reliable, affordable system is what is going to get us to carbon neutrality. And the strategies in the scoping plan, the vehicle charging we need to see, the hydrogen production we need to see, clean hydrogen production we need to see, the building decarbonization we need to see, all of that is supported by a clean energy grid. And having the energy storage on our system to ensure that clean energy is available at all hours of the day will get us to those goals. And fun fact, the previous scoping plan update in 2017 did not model energy storage. It was not something that was considered a feasible option as part of this work. Now we have SB 100 that was adopted after the scoping plan. We have Governor Newsom's zero emission executive order, which CARB is working hard to implement. And all of those strategies are successfully relying on the incredible growth in the grid and the incredible deployment. Our scoping plan shows that we need to make sure these projects get built and that they are available to connect to the grid. And so seeing these projects come to life, seeing the growth in this sector, seeing the energy sector be able to support these decarbonization efforts is incredibly inspiring. The support of all of California, the support of the federal government behind these efforts, all of these will get us to these climate goals. And I'm so happy to introduce our next speaker, David Hochschild, Chair of the Energy Commission, who has been working for decades on this. And it's really wonderful to see this amazing success.
Thank you so much, Leanne. Good morning, friends. I've been working in energy for 25 years with the governor, and I cannot overstate how important the milestone is the governor is about to announce. Energy storage is going to be the defining energy technology of the next decade. It's a facilitator for renewables, and for the moment we're at now, majority clean energy on the grid, and really alternative energy is the wrong word to use to describe renewables. Fossil is alternative, and the legislation the governor signed that accelerates SB 100 is so key, and we're going to hit those targets, 90% by 2035, 95% by 2040, and 100% by 2045. I want to say what is happening here is spreading around the country. Okay, so on clean energy, 99% of the retirements nationwide this year, according to the EIA, are fossil. 95% of the capacity additions are clean energy. That is because of California leadership and because of Governor Newsom's leadership. The very first utility-scale solar project in the world, born here, installed a few miles away, first rooftop solar systems in the world, first utility-scale wind project in the world, first energy codes and energy efficiency standards in the world, and now energy storage. And if you think about it like raising a family, right, you know, solar and wind are kind of out of high school, out of college, off in the world and thriving. I think EVs are maybe in high school, heat pumps still, you know, middle school. I would put energy storage sort of junior high, but ready to skip a grade and coming on strong. And I want to pay special tribute to the incredible ecosystem here in California on battery innovation. It's the best in the world. When you look at what we have here with Cuberg and Coreshell and Sepion and Sparks and FreeWire and so many others, making batteries more efficient, more cost-effective, safer, more durable, and doing things we've never done before, including putting battery storage inside EV chargers so you don't have to do distribution system upgrades to charge EVs. That's all happening here and spreading around the nation and the world. So with that, it's my great privilege to introduce the majority leader of the Assembly. Please welcome Cecilia Aguiar-Curry. Perfect timing. Good to see you.
Good timing. Good morning, everyone. Sorry, late arrival. You know, California has led the world in climate and clean energy progress for decades, and under governors both from political parties. We're building battery storage critical to maintaining a clean and reliable power grid for all Californians, and the state has significantly ramped up battery projects in recent years. More battery storage that can hold energy for longer is critical to how we achieve 100% clean electricity by 2045 and transition away from fossil fuels. Battery storage is critical. Batteries allow us to use the clean energy captured by solar and other renewable sources at all times of the day, especially when solar generation drops after the sun goes down. And more clean energy projects like this one are on the way all across the state because we're building more. Faster, accelerating clean energy, clean transportation, and other critical infrastructure projects throughout the state. Embracing innovation to achieve our climate goals, develop new technologies that can store energy for longer periods of time, create other efficiencies for clean energy. It's such an honor to be here in my hometown to see what we are doing, and it's just a delight. I don't know if Mr. Martinez is here today, but Mr. Martinez and I go back years, and I won't tell the other stories, and the rest of the gang, but I want to thank you for doing a risky project, Dan. It really means a lot. I wish more people would be willing to do that, and it's an honor to be here today and that you're representing the winners on this battery storage project. So with that, do I get to introduce you?
Yes,
So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce you our favorite governor, Governor Gavin Newsom.
Currently, you're only one. Thank you to the Majority Leader. Thank you to all of those that spoke. Thanks to all of you for being out here today. Look, this has been a fun day for me. I started the morning virtually in a conference with 43 leaders from around the world. It was live streamed over in Germany, and we were focusing on ambition, raising our ambition We are focusing on the great implementation, is how we refer to it here in the state of California, moving away from goal setting to the hard work of actually implementing our ideals. And that hard work is demonstrably highlighted here today in this extraordinary milestone, one that we have been looking forward to for, I assure you, months and months and months, calling David, are we almost there at 10,000? Are we almost there? And finally, here we are, 10x. Where we were when we started. We were just at 770 megawatts, now over 10,000 megawatts, just in 5 years in the state of California. We have now some 8,000 additional megawatts that we've already procured, or rather in contract, that we will ultimately be bringing on to the grid in just a matter of a few years. We're making tremendous progress, and I think that progress is also highlighted by some of the points that were made earlier as well. We don't just set goals, we don't just meet goals, we exceed the goals early. 2020, 6 years early, we exceeded our climate goals in 2020, our EV goals 2 years early. We continue to break through the barriers, the limiting mind belief that so many still have in this space. And let me just highlight a point of pride. 40 days out of the last 48, 40 of the last 48 days, we've been running 100% clean energy on the grid. This is simply unprecedented. The fifth largest economy in the world, 11 days straight, breaking all records, 100% green, wind, water, solar. I mean, it's just extraordinary, proving all of the naysayers wrong. They're wrong. We keep breaking through those limiting beliefs, proving what can be done. And battery storage is foundational. In fact, the excess generation has gone to other states and has gone, obviously, into more battery storage. So this is exciting. To me, it's enlivening. This has been part of the great story of California, its leadership and David's spirit. First this, first that. I mean, the future does happen here first. And this is about jobs. 6 times now more green energy jobs than there are fossil fuel jobs. 6 times. It's not even interesting, the debate, any longer. We've just pushed past that. And so we continue to accelerate our efforts. We continue to lead nation-leading ambition and goal setting, and we'll continue to in terms of our work on battery storage. We have no peers. China can lay claim, slightly larger installed capacity, but the innovation, that entrepreneurial spirit, and that energy really is coming from the great state of California. Final point. I'll be leaving this event, and we will be highlighting Tesla now opening up its entire charging network to all the other electric vehicles. This is a big deal. 25% now of our EVs in California, the new cars, 25% are alternative fuels, plug-in EVs or fuel cells. Again, the mandate was all of the above, and I remind you of that because there's lazy punditry done on this that it's just electric vehicles. It's not. It's plug-in and it's hydrogen. It's just the tailpipe. We're trying to eliminate the emissions from the tailpipe because we want clean air and clean water. We want a healthier society. We want a lower cost to the taxpayers. We want a more sustainable future. And we want to dominate that future. We now have 60 ZEV suppliers or manufacturers now in California, 60 manufacturers, headquartered in the state of California. One of our largest exports in the state of California is electric vehicles. So we want to dominate in this space. You want to be big, you got to be big in big things. This is the most exciting transitions in our lives. And it's like any other innovation and adaptation. It's an S-curve. You get all the early adopters, then you get all the doubters because of issues around cost and infrastructure. And then all of a sudden, you hit that price parity, and EVs, we expect to do that by 2027. You look at the Model 3, Tesla's baseline, it's within just a few $1,000s of baseline cars. We're almost there. And you're going to see this radical departure from the past and an acceleration of the future. And again, California, we want to dominate that future. So it's in that spirit, a competitive spirit, that we're announcing this milestone today. It's in the spirit that defines the best of California, the innovation and entrepreneurial spirit, and it's in, I think, the spirit of the times, and that's meeting the moment head on. As the hots get hotter, the dries get drier, the wets get wetter, simultaneous droughts and rain bombs, we have to address these issues with a ferocity that is required of us. And we're doing just that in California, and we're doing that just that, Madam former Mayor, in Winters, California, here today. So thank you all again for being out here, and we're here to answer any questions.
Hi, Governor. Thanks for taking questions. I'm Wes Van Tyscher with Politico. Does this mean that we don't have to worry about blackouts anymore, or where are we at on reliability?
No, I mean, well, I think folks in Texas should pay attention to this. I mean, their blackout problems, they're rolling back, are real. They're pretty severe. All that oil and gas and how unpredictable the maintenance is on those projects with the extreme weather they're facing. But this goes a long way to addressing that issue and addressing the issue of the evenings and the hours when the wind's not blowing. And we got more work to do. But look, this is our biggest power source in California, significantly bigger than the last remaining nuclear plant in the state of California, which is important base load. Technologies in battery are changing significantly, mostly 4-hour. We're getting those new technologies in 8 and longer storage capacities. We want to continue to maintain that implementation, but we have a lot of work to do still in terms of moving this transition with the kind of stability that's required of us. So no, this is not today announcing that blackouts are part of our past, but we want to do everything we can to mitigate that. We've been able to do that the last couple of years. Don't have to remind me of August and September every year. It's a point of anxiety. Trust us. And obviously 2021, where we had the extreme, but storage saved us last year. It literally was the thing that kept us from those episodic blackouts last year, and so it will be a huge part of the solution going forward.
Thank you. And I just got another one about some other news of the day. Last night, 93 students were arrested at USC in pro-Palestine protests. Do you believe that that was the right response?
I don't know the details of the police enforcement on the campus. I'm aware of that. I met yesterday with our team, Office of Emergency Services, our mutual aid framework. We met with President Drake, met personally in my office yesterday as it relates to the UC campuses, and my team in contact with the sheriff up in Humboldt. And so we're working with the trustees and with the university systems as it relates to our public role and responsibility. And so we're very mindful of what's going on the campuses and want to maintain people's right to protest, at the same time do so peacefully without any hate. We don't want any more I just want to avoid a lot of what we're seeing in other parts of the country. And so we're very mindful and diligent in terms of trying to approach this in an appropriate way and address the growing concern people have about what's going on our campuses, not just in California, but across the country.
Governor Chris Ancarlo with KCBS, and off topic here, but Mayor Breed and your office have touted progress made in bringing down property crime rates and combating the fentanyl crisis in San Francisco. The CHP surge, of course, has been a big part of that success. Are you confident that San Francisco can continue that momentum after the state pulls back, and what's the decision point in scaling back? Well,
we want to do, the old adage, you can't do everything, but you can do anything. We started with San Francisco in partnership with the California Highway Patrol and the city and county. We worked with our JAGs, which are members of the National Guard, to help with prosecutions, working with the DA's office, who's been an incredible partner with us. We saw some early success. You saw a lot of arrests, and you saw a program that we advanced, not dissimilar to San Francisco and Oakland, that saw even a larger return on the investment we made. We made the point that this is a rolling commitment. It's not a one-off, and we'll reconsider similar strategies and saturation efforts, proactive policing as we refer to it, in the future as well. We just announced, as you may know, 24 hours ago, operations in Bakersfield, California. Kern County remains the murder capital of California. Bakersfield's been struggling in that respect. Great partnership with the mayor down there. I already got some preliminary results, which I'll share next week, more comprehensive data, but those preliminary results were very, very positive as well. So again, we're trying to work with our East Bay partners, trying to work with the city of San Francisco, those that seek this partnership. We want to continue to advance our efforts. I'll also be highlighting, just point of reference, you referenced fentanyl, be highlighting some of the work the National Guard's been doing in fentanyl. We did our Takedown Tuesdays every week. We give you updated numbers in that space. We'll be rolling up the last month and making a more substantive announcement in terms of expansion of our operations for the National Guard, including task forces that we have assembled all up and down the state that include and cover still San Francisco in that respect. So more work needs to be done. More work will be done until we turn things around.
Governor, hi. Phil Willen at the LA Times. I have an off-topic question as well, but I do have an energy
Whatever
question.
happened to Mother Nature getting more attention?
I will follow
I
with
guess
the
it
energy
has to
question,
happen
though.
with storms or something.
I promise
good,
I'll follow
Phil.
with the energy
It's all
question.
good.
I just want to find out, as you probably heard, the New York Appellate Court overturned Harvey Weinstein's conviction, and given your family's connection to the cases against him, I was curious what you think about that, and if you think that he should be transferred to California to serve prison time here.
I'm not a lawyer. I'm not privy to the details of the case, so I can't opine on the technical point you just made as it relates to the appellate court decision. But I'm aware of the appellate court decision, and let's just make something crystal clear. Harvey Weinstein's a stone-cold predator. He's a rapist, twice convicted, not once, twice. And with all due respect to his advocates, people like Alan Jackson in Los Angeles and Mark Wertzmer and others, devil's advocates, they should be ashamed of themselves, just generally. And those that seek to somehow exonerate or explain away Harvey Weinstein's behavior should also be ashamed of themselves. He should never see the light of day, period, full stop.
And now as far as on the energy topic, I live in Woodland, and I'm actually a customer of Valley Clean Energy. And I can tell you my power bills have not gone down. And I'm curious, when should California see some financial benefit to this transformation to renewables?
Well, I think we have. That wind, the water, and solar has kept prices down. This is the cheapest form of energy right out here, this technology. It's had a significant impact on what you don't see. Our nation-leading climate policies have also had a significant impact of rebating customers, including $146 just this month that will be going out on average to customers, millions and millions of customers, through our cap and trade program to offset their utility costs. Our nation-leading energy efficiency program allows me to lay claim to this fact. It's been PolitiFact. You can check it as well. So the fact that California has lower residential utility bills than states like Texas, states like Florida, and others that tout or mislead you with information that, with respect, is not or should not be in evidence because of the energy efficiency programs in this state. So this is a big part of the long-term strategies to reduce the costs. Natural gas remains stubborn in that mix as it relates to the current costs on people's bills and the utility fees across the spectrum. We're also working, as you know, recently in the flat fee space, which we just advanced pursuant to a bill. Senator Dodd and others helped get to my desk last year. Other states have followed suit. We're also trying to reconcile, as I thought it was interesting the way David used, I want to get a transcript of that about, middle school, high school, et cetera. A lot of these industries we've been subsidizing, you've been paying for, and people that don't even benefit from it have been paying for years and years. We're trying to level set that a little bit, trying to sort of rebalance things, focus more now on solar and battery storage, sort of maintain some parameters in terms of skating where the puck is going as these industries mature, which also will have some impacts. I'll talk to you about regionalization another day. I said already too much on that because it will invariably force an inquiry, but you won't get a response. But you will soon on that topic, which also we think will play a big role in terms of the impacts and costs associated with electricity in this transition.
The opportunity to talk to you. Steve Large, CBS 13. My off-topic questions were asked and answered, so I'll go back on topic.
Well done, man.
You talked about meeting up with Tesla later today or for an event. Just curious to hear your impression of your relationships right now with the state's relationship with Elon Musk, with Tesla, and any conversations, how you would characterize them with growing in California versus other places.
Well, I mean, I think Elon tweeted out how many new manufacturing jobs they've created just in the last number of years in California. Since they announced they're moving the headquarters, they significantly increased the number of state employees. They actually moved their world headquarters for R&D back into the state of California as well, investing even more, not just in resources, but personnel. Look, the world he invented is now competing against him and in this industry. And it's the world we together invented. I mean, it was the regulatory posture and policies in the state of California that led to the price signals and the stability that allowed him to make these remarkable investments in one of the world's great innovators. So I was an early supporter, early adopter in this space. I've long been an advocate and an advocate for Tesla's success. I want to only see success because it's our collective success. And success has left clues, and the world's trying to catch up to them. But there are a lot more players in this space. What we need to do is continue to maintain that demand posture. And that requires now, after early adopters saw those spikes, we're still seeing incredible momentum. But we want to maintain that momentum, and that's why you have to look at price parity in terms of the cost of the cars, and you got to look at the infrastructure. We now have 105,000 public charging stations in California, over 10,000 fast charging stations. And by the way, 1 out of every 5, just think about this, you look at the number of gas stations in this state, fast charging stations represent already 1 out of every 5. You're seeing this thing is moving much faster than people think. And opening up that Tesla network, it's a game changer. It's a big deal. So all of those things directionally, I think, are very positive. And I'll just also note, it was also very positive. The 3 leaders assembled here, incredible support of Senator Dodd, provided $1.9 billion recently for additional investments in building out our infrastructure so we can meet our audacious goals. So this is it's a very exciting time. I think it was 2-3 years ago where the price differential was $17,000 a car. It's less than 5 now. Battery prices are dropping significantly, and that's one of the biggest cost drivers of these electric vehicles. And anyone's been in an EV, some of these others, the technology is next level compared to the old gas guzzlers. So I'm done with OPEC Plus. I'm done with manipulation of petro dictators. I'm done with the manipulation, the price gouging that Chevron and others have advanced as it relates to the spot market and energy crisis that continues to be persistent in this nation, not just in this state. And I'm looking forward to a low-carbon, green growth future where we don't even have to go to a gas station. We just go in our own backyard or have the benefit of a bi-directional relationship to the grid because we're actually making money by selling back electricity because these are really just batteries on wheels, not just cars driving us around. I don't know if you get any of that soundbite, but if I don't appear passionate about this space, I'm not doing my job.
With the Sacramento Bee, quick follow to yesterday's news conference that you had on abortion, off topic again, but while you were doing that, and I know you're moving at expediency and speed with lawmakers to pass that bill,
Yep.
To get Arizonans get help down here in California seeking abortion and protecting abortion providers. But at that same time, as you know, the House moved in Arizona, and we don't know when the Senate will take it up there, but seems like there is momentum to do that.
It's very encouraging.
Does that still leave you with, do you still think that the stopgap measure that you have proposed ought to go forward, given they seem to be moving, and some Republican leaders have said that, hey, Arizona will move on this in a bipartisan way, and why do we need to get into Arizona matters when they are going to handle it?
Yeah, no, and look, I appreciate the question. It's the right question. No, it has no material impact because it won't go into effect until just a number of weeks, month or two before the November election. It can't even go to effect, I think, 90 days until after their session closes. So even if they change the law, it doesn't change our posture in terms of supporting supporting those seeking reproductive care and freedom out of that state in California, and our own moral requirement. Look, you said what's happening there, it's happening here. What happens there impacts California. It's already impacted the state. You're already seeing an increase post-Dobbs, the number of people seeking reproductive care in the state of California. We've seen a significant increase in California already, and so we're going to see an even bigger increase after June 8th when this law, whether or not it goes in effect on June 8th or not, when the impacts of this law are felt, because they cannot move soon enough in Arizona. So our law is still absolutely necessary. And remember, it was only temporary through the first week of November. And so we're talking a matter of weeks before there's any real distinction in terms of what they may do and what we want to do.
Spent on your end, even though they may pass.
Well, the impact's real. The impact's already being felt. And by the way, it's still a 15-week ban, so the impacts will be felt by definition. So our posture hasn't changed at all. And again, if you look at the timelines, doesn't matter what the Senate does next week. Doesn't change the law next week. Has to go through a process. It's going to take months for that law change to go in effect. So we're hoping to get this thing done in a matter of weeks. You got a question? Not you. My staff is not allowed, so I'm glad it's you.
No, I was just curious. Is the environmental impact of long-term use of batteries a concern, in particular also with the procurement of materials needed in order to produce them?
Yeah, no, I mean, this is like the guy who sends me memos on this every week would like to talk.
So the goal, first of all, one of the most problematic parts of batteries have been cobalt. We're moving towards cobalt-free chemistry. And then the goal ultimately is 100% recycling, but there's an intermediate step there, which is reuse. So we've been funding through the Energy Commission with the governor's leadership and support some companies that are taking used batteries from EVs and repurposing them into shipping containers for installations just like this, to do stationary energy storage so they serve a second life before being recycled. And that's kind of the vision we're pushing forward.
Good question. Very good question. That it? Well, thank you. Again, thanks for these remarkable leaders. Mark this moment. This is a big deal. I don't want to short sell this. This is a big deal. This 40 out of 48 days at scale of a fifth largest economy in the world, of 100% green energy. That's a big deal. By the way, on April 11th, just an interesting point of fact, April 11th, 100% of that was just from solar, only to be surpassed by April 21st for even more than 100%. So this is everything we were been promoting all these years, and it's actually taking shape. It's real, and so I couldn't be more proud of this state and these remarkable leaders that are assembled here that made it happen, and innovators and landowners that provide our capacity to make this real. So thank you all very much.